Hello friends, Koolio here and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, I want to share with you a game that I kind of just randomly came across as I was looking for brand new upcoming mobile games. Now this is a game called Lord of Heroes being developed by a company called Clover Games and published by Cacao Games, the same publishers behind Black Desert Mobile. Now this is a really strange game because the game, this sort of what they're calling a frontier test, or what I'm assuming is a really early alpha build of the game, is currently only available in Korea, yet like 95% of the text that you're going to be seeing in this game is in English, and the translations are actually pretty well done. Now this game does a lot of different things than your regular gacha game, specifically when it comes to collecting heroes, but we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. Now this is more of a gameplay preview, as there is quite a lot of text missing in the game as of right now, but I think this is more of just like kind of an early preview build. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'll show you guys some of the gameplay. Now, one of the larger aspects of this game is conquering regions. As you conquer regions, it will actually open up more characters for you to unlock. So this game's more focused around the progression of your overall account to be able to unlock heroes rather than the random gacha systems that we see in other games. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you guys some of the gameplay. Now, I do have to say, like, the graphics of this game kind of remind me of Breath of the Wild or Genshin Impact, but with sort of like a Fire Emblem Heroes style behind it. It's a really kind of a cool combination. So let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay. All the characters I currently have on the screen, they're actually characters that I obtained simply just by playing through the game. And it seems like that's going to be the case for a lot of characters, except you can kind of pick and spend the resources that you have to get certain characters, which again, we're going to be going into that a little bit later. So here we are in the battle system. Now the battle system in this game is going to look pretty similar to a lot of other gacha games that you have. I'm actually going to go ahead and slow the battle system down. Now there is an auto function that unlocks after a couple of stages. There's a ×3 functionality. There's also an elemental system in this game. Now when it comes to all the different characters that you have, they all have their own active abilities that they can use. Some of them can attack every single enemy on the other side, which is kind of cool because there is a little bit of randomness with the battles. For example, there may come a time where you jump into a certain stage and you will get attacked by a lot of enemies, like upwards of like 10 to 15 enemies will actually appear on the board themselves, and you have to use these like large area attacks in order to take all of these enemies down, which I do think is pretty cool. Now they have a soul system in this game, as you attack and as you are attacked, you will actually acquire souls, which you can then use for ultimate abilities for each of the different characters. Another aspect the game has is there are random assists. For example, if an enemy has a pretty high health pool, oh look at this, an invasion. So this is what I was talking about. We've got 12 enemies on the field, so that means we have to use some of our stronger abilities. So let's go ahead and just select an enemy. Now the thing that I think is kind of cool about this is almost every character's ability that can attack multiple characters will actually attack every single character on the board. Now, what I was saying before is your characters will actually gain souls. The souls you can use to activate ultimate abilities. On top of that, they have an assist. So if an opponent has really high health, you have a higher chance of one of your other characters actually jumping in and helping your current character to attack them, which I do think is pretty cool. There's also like a formation system. If you kind of want to swap things in and out, you can go ahead and actually end up swapping different formations. If I wanted to be a little bit more offensive or defensive, I can make my characters move about. But what we're going to do, let's go ahead and actually activate an ultimate ability. And we're gonna go ahead and just attack this person in the front. And I gotta say, the animations already look amazing, but you can kind of tell maybe they need to add some voice acting on top of it. There's a few things kind of missing, and I feel like it's mainly kind of voice acting, which we don't know if they're going to add it or if they're just gonna do basic voice acting. I really hope they do add it though, because I think it would make a lot of the animations and attacks and stuff feel more impactful in the game. So here we go. The entire enemy team is going to now attack me. I don't have enough resources, so we're just gonna have to go through this. And look at that, I just got an assist. So one of my other teammates is gonna go ahead and help out. And we should be able to take these guys down pretty quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn up the speed and turn on auto combat again, so that my characters will go through and take down the rest of these enemies. Now there are some pretty cool boss fights and a pretty decent story behind it, and I like the way that they present the story with all the different characters kind of popping up and talking to each other. It's nothing special, I kind of like the way that it's presented, so it just feels like a pretty well polished game, despite the fact that there is a decent amount of things missing in the game as of right now. So Hopefully my characters will take these guys out pretty quickly. There we go again. My little axe dude looks so freaking cool. Is that the final stage? Okay, so here we go. We got some of the story. So I'm glad that you guys get to see some of it because, man, like the game looks really, really good. Like the characters and stuff look so cool. I think we're about to enter a boss fight. So, and like I'm really surprised too how much English dialogue this game has and how well it's translated too. So it's pretty crazy. So sorry, I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of skip through this a little bit, you guys, so we can go ahead and finish up this combat and show you some of the other aspects that I like about this game that I think are pretty interesting. So, got through all of this. The final round, a boss fight. Look, like Korean text, I don't know, it's pretty weird. So we got ourselves a boss fight. I hope we'll be able to take them down. It may take a little bit of time to take down this enemy. One of the other cool things, now I talked about how they have an assist system in this game. If you happen to have enough souls that multiple characters can actually activate their ultimate, you can do a sort of ultimate assist, where you can select all of the characters that are able to activate an ultimate at the time or have enough energy to activate, and they'll actually all kind of work together. There's not a special animation. Your main character will still activate their main animation, but then there's extra damage, extra abilities added on top of that you can use kind of all at the same time, and they kind of power each other up, which I think is really cool. So I'm glad you guys get to see some of the other characters' ultimate abilities because like, this game looks really, really good. I love the characters, I love the animations, I love that sort of Fire Emblem feels behind it, that Fire Emblem style of like character design mixed with the 3D animated models. Here we go, another activated ability. Now, one of the cool things too is when I was playing through the tutorial, one of the characters that they let you kind of play has an ability, one of the ultimates that actually does a serious amount of damage to almost every single enemy on the other team while also healing your own teammates. So there is some pretty cool different abilities each of the characters can use. Like my little axe dude, he can actually poison the enemy. Some characters can decrease their attack, decrease their defense. So, I mean, we've seen these before in other games. It was kind of cool seeing different kinds of abilities kind of combined together. Like, I definitely didn't think my little axe dude was going to be able to poison people, so. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to show you guys it in this video, but they do have special daily dungeons that you can play through that will actually get you certain materials that you need to upgrade your characters. And the bosses that you fight in them are huge. And they do add some pretty cool animations and attacks when you're fighting them. And they're fairly difficult. They definitely get harder and harder the farther you go along. And it's definitely something you're gonna be playing quite a lot on. Now you've actually seen all of my characters' abilities actually activated at this point. I think all we have left is just this last boss to take down. And she's got a lot of health points. And each of the bosses do have their own special abilities, passives, and kinds of gameplay styles behind them. We got an assist. Hopefully we can take her down. She doesn't have very much health left. She's only got 2 health bars left, so hopefully we'll be able to get some decent combat attacks in. There we go. Only 1 more health bar left. Hopefully we don't get someone taken down. Now each of the characters do have a speed bar below their health bar. It's kind of that white bar. When it's filled up, it means it's their turn to attack. We've seen that before in other games too, so. Completed. Stage, you are skilled, I will give you that. I love this character. I really want her. I think she looks super cool. Let's go ahead and just skip past all of this dialogue. There is actually quite a lot of dialogue in this game. And that white-haired character, you notice I actually don't have him on my team. That's actually your character. You are the Lord of Heroes in this game. You go out, you collect the heroes, you put them on your team. There's a little bit of character customization. You can pick male or female, a couple of hairstyles, and a couple of different skin tones, if I remember right, something like that. Okay, so I've showed you some combat. I do want to talk a little bit about character progression, and then we're going to talk about character, like acquiring new characters, because it is different in this game than other games. So when you have your basic character, you can see all the different characters that you can collect in the game. There's actually quite a lot. I was surprised. I was thinking a game with this type of graphic fidelity wasn't going to have that many characters, but they do have quite a lot of really cool looking characters to collect, so go ahead and show you guys a couple of those. So yeah, there she is. That's the one character I thought looked really cool. So let's go ahead and actually talk about, let's go and, where is she? Right here. So this is one of my favorite characters in the game so far. Now you can go through and you can advance them by promoting them. This is going to be the way that you upgrade their stars, and it takes quite a lot of materials. If you look down there, like 201 star square gems, 200 triangle, like it's going to take some time to upgrade each of these different characters. And I think that was on purpose, because the way that you acquire characters in this game is different. It's not randomized. You can go and pick the character that you want, and then they kind of put more of the grind on the progression of the characters rather than trying to acquire the materials to unlock that character or do the random gacha. Now you can promote them. You can also level them up by using crystals that the game gives you fairly easily. And then they have this ascendant system. And you guys know me, if you have a game that has visual progression, I'm going to love it. And this game definitely does. So as you go through and you actually ascend your characters, you'll actually unlock new versions, new cosmetic versions of that character. And I love that. I really do. But you can see that there's some text missing here and there. Now let's actually talk about how to acquire characters. There is a gacha system in this game, the alchemy system. Now the alchemy system is actually centered around completely gear, not characters at all gear. All the gacha system is going to be centered around gear. Now you can go and you can get gear and equipment through certain dungeons and stuff, but let's go ahead and I'll just show you a quick summoning of what it looks like to actually acquire gear in this game. Ooh, a 6-star shoe. Oh, dang. Ooh, I think that's like an epic. I don't know like what the rarities and stuff are. But there you go. So we end up getting 1 gold item and 2 purples and a few blues. So yeah, the entire summoning system in this game is all centered around gear. However, you may not want to go and spend your premium currency on the alchemy, because there's also what's known as the chronicles. Now this is where you're actually going to unlock your characters. And I think this is really cool. At first, I didn't really understand what was happening at all. But you can see it has all of the characters in the game. Now each of these characters has a specific area or region on the map that they're connected to. So for example, I'm currently pushing my way through the Lumisade one, and you can see that all the characters on the Lumisade one are actually locked. Now, as you progress and you play through the Lumisade, I believe that you'll unlock a few characters, but once you've completed the area, you should be able to then go back through and actually recruit certain characters using the premium in-game currency. And they've been actually giving out quite a lot as you play through it. So I actually thought that was pretty interesting. Now, if you have a character you actually already have unlocked, like my Archer, which I did get through just playing through the Lumisade area, I cannot acquire them anymore. But there are a couple of other characters that I can now go through and actually unlock once I reach certain points and stages in the story. So you can see for her I can recruit for 3,000, her 9,000. Nibelin Woodlands, there's a couple of characters I can unlock there, but then you see these higher up characters. I haven't even gone to these areas. If I click on them, oh, I can actually recruit a few of these. Oh, dang. All right, I didn't think that was possible. Actually, I don't think it is. I think you actually have to go through and complete that stage in order to unlock them, though. Let's see. Can I recruit this character? I guess you actually can. So you don't even have to go through that stage to recruit that character. That's pretty crazy. I mean, there are a few characters I believe you do have to go through the story to unlock, because there's like that Archer guy and one of the other characters too, but there we go. I just unlocked a brand new character. So I do like that kind of system. It's interesting and it allows you to kind of target and work your way towards specific characters. But there you guys go. That's kind of my gameplay preview for Lord of Heroes. I'm actually kind of excited for this game. I'll keep you guys updated if there's any news on like a global launch or a Western launch. But as of right now, it looks like it's kind of mostly pointed towards Korea, despite the fact there's so much English dialogue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know down below. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more mobile gaming videos coming soon. All right, friends, I'll see you next time.